Here, and I can't wait to tell you all about our new explosion board. Explosion boxes are trending in the craft world right now. You'll see them all over the internet. They're super fun for handmade gifts. You can include gift cards, you can include treats inside or small gift items. They're also great for memory keeping, for photos, and all kinds of fun interactive elements inside the boxes. So let me show you a little bit about this board. So this board can make extra large boxes all the way down to extra small. So that's 7 different sizes that nest inside of each other. You can also make lids for those boxes in each of the sizes. You've got a template set here for doing decorative corners on each of the different sizes, and an angle score. This is your diagonal score, so you can get those folds for the boxes, and a handy scoring tool that has its own storage compartment down here, just like many of our punch boards. All right, do you guys want to make an explosion box? Let's get started. Let me show you how this works. This is my favorite part, so watch closely. Boom, there's your explosion of creativity and interactive elements inside. There are flaps, there are pockets with removable tags, all kinds of fun goodies. One of my favorites is right here, your little gatefold flaps that you can tie together and open up for something fun inside. And then when you're all done looking inside and getting all your goodies out of the pockets, you simply fold that up and add the box. And you can keep that as a mini album. You can keep that as a gift. It's just so much fun. So let's get started. We're going to need different sheets of double-sided pattern paper. And I am using pattern papers from the Maggie Holmes Marigold collection. These are absolutely beautiful. I just love the color scheme. So you're going to need one 12 by 12, one 11 by 11, one 10 by 10, one 9 by 9, and then a 6.5 by 6.5 for the lid. So let's start with the box using the 12 by 12 inch paper. We're going to go ahead and grab the scoring tool out of the bottom here. I'm going to release these templates off the board because we're going to need to use one of those eventually as well. And there's a nice little hole there that keeps that ring in place, which is super handy so you never lose them. So we're going to place this on the board up into the guide there. And this is going to be an extra large box, so we'll just score on the extra large score line right there all the way down. Then we're going to go to the corner and score a diagonal line just until that score line we just made right there. Rotate that, and we're going to repeat those steps on all 4 sides. All right, so once we've got those score lines done, hopefully you can see those on the other side, we are going to now make the decorative corners. So I'm going to grab the extra large template here, and I'm just going to place this in this corner quadrant and put the tip of this right in the corner of those score lines there. Then I'm going to use my pencil and just trace around, starting at that score line, and just tracing around until it meets back up with this other score line here. I'm going to go over that just a little bit more so it's darker, a little easier to see. And then we're just going to repeat that on all 4 corners. All right, now that we've got those 4 corners drawn, we're going to cut those templates out to make our decorative corners. I finished cutting all the decorative edges out on the corners, and we've got all the creases folded, and so let me show you how this box is going to come together. It is really cool. We're just going to pinch those sides in, and then it comes in like that and explodes out. So we're ready to make the lid. So grab your 6.5 by 6.5 inch paper, and we're going to place that into the board. And there's a lid score line right here that we're going to use just to score all the way down, and then we're going to do the diagonal, and we'll just rotate and repeat that same series of steps on all 4 sides. All 4 sides are done. So now I'm going to go through and crease these. That just makes it a little easier as you're forming your lid. And then we'll go through and get those diagonal creases. And while I'm doing this, let me just talk a little bit about adhesive. It's important when you're folding or bending paper that you use a really strong, sturdy adhesive. I highly recommend the American Crafts Sticky Thumb double-sided tape. That's going to hold your paper really well. Another really good option is our USB hot glue gun, the mini hot glue gun. Hot glue works really well when you're folding and creasing paper. Okay, so that lid is looking good, ready to go. We'll set that aside and work on our inside pages with the flaps. So the first one we're going to do is 11 by 11 and 10 by 10 because those are pretty much the same process. So let's walk through this process on the board. Here's the 11 by 11 piece that goes onto the board, and this is an extra large size. So we're going to score extra large, and this time we don't need to do any diagonal scores. We just need to do a vertical score on all 4 sides. So just rotating and scoring. And then we're going to do the same thing on our 10 by 10 sheet of paper, but we're going to use the large vertical score line instead. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to cut the corners of both of these, and I'm just going to use a ruler and a cutting mat, and I'm going to line the ruler up right at the end of this score line here and this score line here, and then we'll cut that corner off at a diagonal angle with a craft knife. And we'll repeat that process on all 4 corners of both the 11 by 11 and the 10 by 10 sheet. All right, I've gone ahead and finished cutting out the corners of both of those papers. Now we're going to do some cutting. What we're going to do is we're going to create double pockets on these 2 flaps, or these 2 sides of the box. So we're going to cut along the score line from here on the edge all the way into that score line right there. We'll do that here. And then rotate it over and just do the opposite one as well. And then we're going to do that along these score lines too. All right, so you're going to repeat that process on your 10 by 10 paper, and then we're just going to fold these flaps over. And there's your double pocket, and then I'll just take adhesive and run that straight along that score line from one side to the other, and then you can just fold those flaps over and you have a double pocket. So again, you're going to repeat that on this side. Just go straight across with your adhesive and fold over the flaps. And then we'll do that to the 10 by 10 sheet as well. All right, so now we're going to take our box and we're going to add these to the inside of the box by taping the bottom of the box with double-sided tape, and then we'll just set that inside and center it in the bottom of the explosion box, and do the same thing with this set of flaps as well. All right, so now I'm going to rotate this so the pockets are on opposite sides, so you have pockets on each side. Again, just kind of center that. Line that up right about there. All right, so we've got 2 of our inside flaps ready to go, and let's work on our 3rd one. So grab your 9 by 9 sheet, and we're going to do something a little bit different with this one. So we're going to place this into the board, and this is a medium size. So we're going to score all 4 medium size score lines along the vertical line. Now that we've done that, we're going to align this with the lid line, the lid score line right there, and then we're going to score along the small line, except we're only going to score from the top edge down to the center score line, and then again from the bottom edge here up to the center score line. So again, flip this over or rotate it 180 degrees to the opposite side, align that on the lid line, small score just from the top to the center, and then from the bottom to the center. Now we're going to do some cutting, and we're going to make those fun gatefold flaps. So we're going to cut across from the edge to the center, score line, right along that score line there. And then you're going to get rid of this flap that we scored, the small score. And so that score line is really just there to give you a guide for cutting. So we'll get rid of that flap. And then we'll do the same thing on all 4 sides. All right, so I finished cutting those, and now we're going to fold these flaps in so you can see how that's going to work. So these are going to be 2 gatefold flaps that you can open up to add a fun interactive peekaboo element. So that's ready to go, and so I'm going to now tape that into the box. And this is our last set of flaps. And so the box that I did, before I taped this in, I actually punched holes and added eyelets on each of the flaps so that I could tie them together, but you can attach those however you want. So we're going to place this in this way, and again, just center that up on the other flaps. And press it down, and there you've got an explosion box. Lots of different pockets, different flaps, interactive elements. It makes a great gift for the holidays, for birthdays, for anniversaries, or any special occasion. And it's great for memory keeping too. So be sure to check out the explosion board at your favorite retailer. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Allie Dosdell for We Are Memory Keepers.